What's a good y'all? This is the real RGB Fox. I forget that sometimes I go back to what I used to say before I properly changed my YouTube channel name, but it's been a while since I uploaded a video, and that isn't really because I haven't had any ideas. It's more that when I try to like compile things together, it takes me a moment to really think about it. And at the very least, for the past 2 weeks before this one, in fact longer, I was consistently, throwing out videos of commentary over, matches. But this time, I actually have something else that hopefully I can talk about, and that is what I'm still playing in Master Duel. So for those that don't know or haven't known, Master Duel has released a few decks recently. To review, we have a few decks that have come out. We have Archmage, Dracotail, and the Apophis deck. Aside from that, we also have gotten the Dia Bellstar support, which makes the deck a lot better. I don't think that it makes it super insane, but it does improve the deck by a long shot. I mean, you get access to the let's go through the featured cards. You get access to Vengeance. It is just a pop, but it is still very good interruption wise. You get Witch of the White Forest here, which just adds consistency into the deck that it didn't have before, because if you want to search, like any of your White Forest monsters with the tails of the White Forest, you do need to control a spellcaster, right? So it's not as if you can just go out and immediately win, right? Or like get the best consistency. You also have to think about what else you receive, such as Vengeance Dragon, which again, really good interruption piece, Poplar of the White Forest, and more. And of course, Curse of the Diabell and all these other wonderful spell and trap cards, Philia Diabell, etc. That combined with the fact that you also have cards like Baron still in the format and whatnot, means that the deck becomes super strong on its own with the Azamina sub-engine, right? And then we, just have to talk about this really quick. I know I'm late on this. This did come out about a week ago. But we also have Dracotail, along with Apophis, not really like Odeon, etc., whatever you want to call it. The Treasure Temple of the Kings deck with the man, with the mark, and Archmage. So I'm not going to go too in depth. If you play the TCG, you know how amazing Dracotail is, and for me, even though it's really powerful, I am not going to be playing the deck whatsoever, and that isn't because I hate the deck. In fact, I love Dracotail. That is just simply because I want to wait for K9 VS and all that good stuff, right? So I am going to be pretty patient on what I'm going to spend my gems and points on. This is also due to the fact that I have lost my job. Loss is kind of a big word. I quit my job about 2 months ago to hopefully pursue a different opportunity, and while I am in transitioning from that, I can't really spend a lot of money as I used to in this game, but that's okay. So I have to make some sacrifices. In an ideal world, I would like to have Dracotail and K9 VS later, and Yummy when it comes out, or whichever order they decide to bring it out. But also, this pack is also kind of like a scam, because they added so many URs and so many other archetypes that you really just don't want to touch. Odeon is probably the second best archetype within this, though. Whether it goes first or second, pair it up with some good engines such as Kashtira or Fiendsmith, and you're bound to have some success. And then Archmage. This is the last archetype that has come out for Master Duel, and it's just super weak. I mean, there's not much that I can say. Maybe in the best of one setting, the odds that you win with the deck increases just a little bit, but the deck is still weak to Fua, it's still weak to Maxi, It puts out, you know, subtle end boards that could be good. But the fact that you have to invest so many of your monsters to be able to get like the good interruptions, which is like the Fin Mail negate, the Graflare pop, the Medius into the Nerva, you know, fusion with the Patron, right? I mean, it's like doable. It's just your odds of getting there is just not, you know, likely. So if you do invest into any of the new decks, Dracotail will be your best friend. So, to start off with the non-engine, we have 2 Droll, 2 Maxi, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, Cross Out, Called By, and that really does it for the non-engine. And the reason why there are not certain cards and why there are some, well, we'll go through it. So no Nibiru, and the reason why no Nibiru is because Dracotail had just released in Master Duel about a week ago. I know I'm a bit late, but it's okay. Dracotail is a powerful deck that does not play into a Nibiru, and while you can make the argument that decks like Malice are still relevant and, you know, the mirror match could be worthy, I think the inclusion of Dracotail just kind of makes Nib not very popular for best of ones, at least for me. And while you could argue you could play Fua over the Droll, I am playing it because Dracotail still is a very big hand trap heavy deck, so I don't want them opening the Droll and Lockbird, because the way they set up their follow-up is by setting spell traps, and if they're able to have a Droll on top of that, it makes playing Ryzeal Mitsurugi a lot harder. So for that reason, I am keeping the non-engine just like this. Plus, in the mirror match, Nibiru is just really bad. Not so much on low ladder, but once you start getting to Diamond 1 and towards Masters, the Ryzeal players are never playing into the Nibiru. And even when they do, it sometimes just feels like ass, because it's just not worth it, in my opinion, to currently play it. Now, that being said, what do we have for the main engine? Well, to start, Ryzeal 1 of Sword X, as well as Note and Star. We also have 3 Ice Ryzeal, 1 Bonfire, 3 7 Tachyon so that we can search it. Ryzeal Cross, because I mean, you have to have Cross in the combo, right? And them hitting Sword to 1 really hurts, because this was always the worst normal summon to start off with if this was your only Ryzeal monster in hand, right? You know, I guess aside from like Note and Star, but in terms of like playable, right? And now, if you open Sword, it becomes a bit more awkward to get into the full end board. So that's why we're playing a much higher Mitsurugi ratio in the deck, because this is more of a Mitsurugi deck than a Ryzeal deck. As you can see, we play 1 each of the level 4 Mitsurugis, as well as a Night Sword Serpent, so that we can get an extra level 4 whenever we need it to XC summon. 1 Murakumo, 1 Fusu, 3 Haba, 3 Pre-Prep, 1 Mirror, 1 Ritual, 3 Prayers, and the Purification. There is still a lot of reasons to be playing a heavier build, in my opinion, of Mitsurugi, and that is, number 1, if you set up Futsu, it's really hard for your opponent to break through the end board, and it makes it that much better against Dracotail, because Dracotail is one of your worst matchups, all things considered, where when you play against Dracotail, Ryzeal can, you know, break through the board, set up Exciton, and, you know, grind it out with the Mitsurugi cards. Dracotail can do the same thing back, because Dracotail, if you are not familiar, when they fusion summon, oops, look at that, their monsters have included effects such as destroy a monster, destroy a back row, destroy or negate a spell or trap, bounce cards, monsters specifically, from the field or graveyard back to the hand. So they have many ways to properly interact with you, to where, you know, even when they go second against your board, 1 Rahu can change everything. And so having the heavier Mitsurugi package is to essentially be able to battle through them doing this stuff as well. Plus, adding the Great Purification, while maybe not necessary, improves your chances of winning against his deck going first. Because, yeah, you have Ash Blossom for the Raku and Ketu, but what about if they're also playing Branded Fusion, right? In which case, you need more than one way to stop their push, and that is going to be helped a lot with the Great Purification. So, in my opinion, you need to play this more as a Mitsurugi deck, and think of the Ryzeal deck as supplementary, right? It's a supplementary engine to your end board with a potential monster negate, multiple pops, and so on. Imperm, right? When we talk about Imperm in the non-engine spot, it's pretty good in the mirror, right? It's pretty good into Ryzeal in general. It can be decent against Malice. They also lost Red Ransom, so hitting the binder to be able to stop them from having follow-up can also be really nice, and more. And against Dracotail, hitting the Arthalion can be impactful. Sometimes the answer is no. It depends on how awkward they open, but a lot of the times this lets you break even with the deck and allows you to play into their board going second way easier. And that is about it for the main deck, at least explanation-wise. Also, I played against a Labyrinth deck the other day, and they had D barrier, so they called XCs because that's what they saw first, and then I just went, Mitsurugi combo, and they were not very happy about that. Opening Hava plus X just does that. Okay, for the extra deck, you have your bridge into Mitsurugi with King of the Feral Imps. You have 104 for the 7th. You have Excitonite. This is probably the best rank 4 ever created. Every single time I bring out Exciton, I feel like I win, so love to see it. Tornado Dragon, number 60, Dugaris, the Timeless. We also have Light Dragon at Ignister. This is the best way overall to play against Lunalight, the best card rather to make against them, and this is because if they set up the double Liger Dancer board, being able to threaten your, their Liger Dancers being ineffective against your bodies is going to be great. For the reason why this card is so good against them is that when they try to destroy your special summon monsters, you can attach one material from this card instead. So, if they have double Liger Dancer, you'll have 2 materials under the Light Dragon at Ignister and protect all your body so that you can attack over them. And, of course, cards like Dugaris and Eclipse Twins will help facilitate that for you. So, this is very necessary, in my opinion, to be able to combat them, going second specifically. And this deck in general just has a really good matchup against Lunalight anyway, so, I really enjoy it. Because, X and Myriologic, or even if they go and, they set up the Baguska. Actually, no, I think Baguska is banned, right? Let me remember. Oh, yeah, no, that card is banned. So that is going to be double Liger Dancer every time, in which case the deck already has a very good way to play into him. What else? Oh yeah, double Duo Drive, double Detonator. In the TCG, I had to experience playing Detonator to 1, but in Master Duel we still have it to 2. The drawback is, again, Sword to 1, but we can deal with it. Double Eclipse Twins. I think Eclipse Twins is probably the strongest extra deck monster because the reason I play it at 2 is for the grind game. You're always going to put X back with the field spell if it stays up, right? Which makes it easier for you to come back into the game using Eclipse Twins during those grindy matches. Dragluxion is the best way still to bridge Mitsurugi into Ryzeal, and so if you're not playing Dragluxion, you're playing the deck wrong. 1 Myriologic, you only need 1, and of course to wrap it all up, the Dynamondo. So that does it for the deck overall. Some things, if you want to play this deck yourself that you may or may not want to change, could come in the form of removing Drolan Lockbird, removing Night Sword Serpent, and the Trap card. And the reasons being is, number 1, brick, And with the introduction of Dracotail, you're more than likely going to see Droll being a lot more ineffective on high ladder. The only reason to keep Droll is basically as a crossout target. Now, in my opinion, I do believe that it's still strong, but you can always remove it, make it a perfect 40, and just go on and play it as is. And honestly, that may be the trend that I'm going to use going forward, because the Droll doesn't always really help. But if you are climbing from low ladder, for instance from bronze all the way to about diamond 5, I think it's reasonable to keep Droll in the main deck. In the extra deck, you can also play the full armored Lancer. The reason being is that it gives you another avenue to OTK, but you don't really need it because Eclipse Twins does the same thing. And it can, you know, target any Xyz monsters, I believe, or any monster on the field. Oh no, it would be this one itself. But yeah, two attacks. It works just as well. So, I don't know of any other thing. Maybe you can play Star Liege, but I also don't think you require that card to be able to continue playing the deck at all. So use things as you wish. Other options could be Ragnar Zero, etc. But oh, you could also play Infernal Flame Banshee. For me, it doesn't seem like it really comes up at all. When I see people play this, it's like they make 2 level 4s, like let's say an Aramasa and a Serpent into this, and search Star Ryzeal. I feel like people might be playing that wrong when you can just search like Ice Ryzeal or X, which would be way better, but hey, what do I know? And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. Again, other videos will come out soon discussing you know, the importance of what should change in the current TCG space. I do think that the format overall is pretty healthy, but that will come in my discussion video coming up next. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. This has been RGB Fox, and peace.